Production. Visit Flying Lump.
Right.
What
okay.
happened there?
Oh wow. Okay, let's just hang on there for a second. I'll just pause the recording and we'll restart that for the audio recording. And we'll hit the chat button on here. And hello everyone, welcome to this week's Babblefish. My name's Daniel Roth, and that's the frowning Cheshire Cat over there, otherwise known as Mark.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Grogu.
Well, well, the Cheshire Cat's, that was his thing. He smiled, didn't he? So you're like the opposite of that.
I smile occasionally. I mean,
So
these
I
days
smile occasionally. Not so much these days, but yeah. Anyway.
these days it's a bit lacking, but yes.
Anyway, welcome to Babblefish. We are an entertainment podcast, I suppose you could say. TV, movies, entertainment, technology, geeky things, stuff like that, really. Yeah, and so that's us. We're going to be here with you next hour. And sorry about that audio glitch earlier on. That was really quite disturbing. That's never actually happened to me before. But never mind. I think it'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. So how are you? How's your week? Oh yeah, by the way, before we get into all of that, our movie of the week this week is Spree, which I think was your choice.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen sent
Yeah,
me a
that's
message
right.
saying you were asking for a movie to watch, and I was like, I've only watched one movie this
Yeah, we
week.
have to say we did seriously drop the ball this week.
Yeah.
We completely. The thing is, we've just, I don't know, all these little projects I'm doing, I just kind of got a bit sidetracked, and I suppose, if I'm being honest about it, I think I was probably more focused on the drawing side of what I've just
plowing
been
ahead with that.
Yeah, just been addicted to that, but we'll get into that a little
Almost
later.
every waking minute. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. No, honestly, I even took a day off work today so I could do some house-related stuff and some legal stuff, but also because I kind of wanted to draw. So, yeah.
House-related legal stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to press a button now. I have no idea what it's going to do. I'm slightly scared. No, I think we're good. I think we'll be okay. Gotta love it, though. And the thing is, it's interesting that all that started to break after the Windows updates. I did a whole bunch of Windows updates on this machine a few days ago.
Yeah, they're well.
Coincidence?
Actually, there have been some issues with Windows updates.
Yeah, there
the
have.
last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a busy time for people working in IT because all the things are broken at the moment. But
Yeah.
that's just Microsoft doing what Microsoft does, supplying excellent enterprise-grade software and consumer-grade software to people.
Well, I mean, some of the updates are obviously going to break things because they're not actually supposed to really be installed. It's just a lot of people don't realize that because of the way that that Microsoft released the updates.
Yeah, well, anyway.
I was actually in a meeting the other day about patching, so
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think people are interested in us talking about our jobs, to be honest. I can barely bring myself to talk about computers when I'm at work, and I get paid to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of my hobby as well. I'm
A hobby?
IT enthusiast.
I'm so
Outside
far
of work.
not an IT enthusiast. I couldn't be any less of an IT enthusiast. What's the opposite of an IT enthusiast?
A user?
No. Somebody who just really hates computers.
What, you mean like technophobe?
No, I'm not technophobe.
But you're not a technophobe.
No.
If you like technology, it's just IT.
I hate it, yeah.
But then IT is a very broad
Broad thing.
title, subject.
Anyway, whatever. Yeah, anyway, so how are you? How's things? I mean, in general, I mean, I know you said you were not an awful lot's going on, you're at work and etc. But
Well, at home, at work, yeah. Yeah, same old really. Yeah,
Another
doing
week.
the other projects with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just um, been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14,
Yeah,
which is the
which is good.
online
I mean,
game.
it's nice to have a focus that,
Yeah,
um, which is what I'm finding with all the drawing and all the artwork that I'm doing at the moment. I mean, Stephen actually bought me a mannequin, actually a wooden mannequin, because I'm starting to,
yeah, it's one of these artists.
yeah, and it's going to be quite...
Because when you first mentioned that, I was like, you
Huh?
have these massive, great big like shop
Yeah, one
mannequins
of
that are in
those,
your
yeah, from one
studio.
of Marks and Spencer or something. Yeah, one of those. Yeah, no, not
Yeah,
one of those. It's
no,
just a little wooden thing. It's got a metal wire stuck up its bum, and you can
yeah,
adjust its legs and its arms and stuff, and make it. I mean, it's really good because it's like, I mean, more recently I've started doing full character drawings, because up to this point I've mostly just been focusing on the face.
yeah.
So
It's usually
that's
just
kind
the
of what I've
bust, isn't
been.
it?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. It's like I was learning about expressions and how they be conveyed, and all the subtlety and the nuance and the way that the facial muscles move, and the way that there's an awful lot to it. It's not just draw a smiley face with a semicircle. There's an awful lot to how the face contracts given the face that you're, and it's like the way that your cheek muscles move and your jawline moves, and all the things that you don't even really think about until you have to actually think about them when you're drawing them. And it's there's a lot more to it than I think most people probably think. So I spent a good probably couple of months just figuring that out, and I've done a ton of drawings that I haven't shown anyone. Just
Well,
kind of
I've
experimenting with
seen
things.
some
Yeah.
of them that you've scrapped
Yeah.
because you've just been live streaming them on Discord to us,
Yeah.
and we're, friends channel in Discord.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things. I enjoy it. But it's hard. Cartooning and art and drawing is hard, and it takes a lot of time. I mean, you see people that have been drawing for sort of 4 or 5 years. They're really, really good. But I mean, it does take time because there's an awful lot to it, And the only thing that I'm thinking right now is that I do find that I need reference material a lot, and I don't think that's uncommon. I think a lot of people
as I
do.
said the other day, I think a lot of people draw from their surroundings, people they know, animals that they,
Yeah.
pets.
But you see a lot of sort of more experienced artists just sitting down and just drawing, like, like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
I still need that reference material, which is why Stephen bought me that mannequin, because that's going to be useful for me.
Yeah, but that's more reference for how to get the certain poses.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do on top of that pose.
Yeah.
Because once you've got the body down, that's fine.
Exactly.
It's more to do with the head, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
really.
and yeah. But it's there's an awful lot to it. It's just the way that sort of welcome to the talking about art show. Sorry about this. We'll move off for the topic in a second. It's just obviously it's been my all-consuming passion for the last. I hate that word. Passion. I have a real it's the sort of thing you throw out in a job interview, isn't it? I have a real passion for customer service.
Mm-hmm.
No, I enjoy it. I have a drive to learn and better myself. So
That's good.
I'll get there. You'll be alright. Just takes a while.
Well, yeah, it's like any hobby, anything you take up, you need to practice and try different things, which you've done. You've changed your style completely.
Yeah, right. I'm wondering what I'm going to be like in like a year's time.
So Picasso,
I know.
Rembrandt,
No, it's not.
Monet.
No. We'll see what happens. It's interesting how just when you think I'm settling on a style, suddenly whoosh. Oh, now it's totally different again. What's he doing now?
You go through your weird cubist phase or surrealist phase.
At some point, probably. But it's all a learning experience, and it's by just trying these different techniques and and everything else that you learn and you develop them yourself. So
yeah.
Basically, all I'm advocating is, it's good to have hobbies, it's good to have focus. And I have seen a lot of my friends, actually, on Facebook, since I've been doing this, taking up drawing themselves and artwork and stuff. I've seen people start painting and stuff off the back of this and say, oh, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really therapeutic. And I just think that's cool. I've managed to encourage a couple other people to draw something and paint something, and that's good. So at least I've had some sort of a positive impact on the world.
Well, you
not that
saw
this
a couple
is any
of my attempts.
Yeah, I mean, not that this is any kind of a positive impact. And with that being said, hello to all our listeners on Forest FM.
I mean, yeah. Not that my attempts were particularly bad. They were just a bit weird.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My style's a little bit more
doodly.
Well, yeah, there's doodly, but it's also a little bit more, let's say, chaotic.
Okay.
Is probably the best word for it.
All right. Well, anyway, so there we go. I've just been doing an awful lot of drawing, as you can probably work out from the last 10-minute rant. Sorry, but it was
discussion.
It was Stephen's birthday as well. The other day.
The weekend.
And, I got him a alpaca poncho.
Yep.
And now these people are spamming my mailbox all the time,
saying buy more alpaca.
Yeah, because
ponchos.
I can't imagine there'd be that many people buying alpaca ponchos, honestly. So I think they've hit a gold mine with me, and so they're spamming my mailbox until oblivion. Oh, there's somebody here that actually buys these things? Quick! Maybe he'll buy some more. We've got hundreds of alpaca ponchos. Quickly. Maybe he'll buy some more.
Would you like to be a reseller?
For highest quality alpaca ponchos. I don't know, say what you want. It's incredibly warm, and Stephen hasn't, until today, he's pretty much been wearing it pretty much constantly. So.
Yes, I was disappointed when you asked him to come into the studio and he wasn't wearing it.
Mm-hmm. It's very warm. It is very warm. But, yeah, anyway, so now these people are emailing me all the time. I'm getting all these video emails of all these people stood around with all their alpaca ponchos laughing, because obviously they can't take themselves seriously.
So that was obviously filmed well over a year ago then.
Yeah. It's just a bunch of people stood around in somebody's garden laughing about how silly they look. But whatever, I don't think it actually looks that silly. I just think it's just comfortable and warm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of alpaca ponchos.
Even though you haven't got one yourself.
No. It's fine. Anyway, so there we go. That was it. And obviously it was Valentine's Day.
Yep.
And we don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day wasn't really something that happened.
No, it's just awkward. It's awful. I mean, it's just. I don't sort of. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there, a lot of couple out there that do enjoy celebrating Valentine's Day as just a day to just sort of spend some time with the other half and put a bit of effort in, and just. Whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I spent the day playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's I think it's more for the ladies, and I also think it's more for newer couples as well. Valentine's Day.
Yes, yeah, newer couples, yeah.
So I'm not really, I don't know. I don't really think it's for us.
It's also a commercial excuse.
Yeah, no, it is. Although we have an agreement that we just don't celebrate it. I did break that agreement because I found a llama card that says I like you a lot with 2 L's and had a silly looking llama there. So of course I had to get that for him. And in the card I actually apologized and sorry, I know I said we wouldn't do anything, but I just saw this and I had to get it. Sorry again.
Fair enough. It was actually my mum's birthday on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. You must be annoyed that you couldn't see her. You haven't seen her in ages, have you?
Yeah, last time was November for my birthday.
Yeah, just before, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
She's now officially an OAP.
Ah, right, okay.
And retired, so.
Cool. So she gets her pension?
Yep, she gets a pension from the government and from the NHS.
Nice. so she can live it up now.
Well,
not that anyone can live anything up these days. We're all distant. We can live it up in our houses with our foie gras. Not that we could have foie gras because it's cruel to the geese. What's not cruel? Sushi. Does your mum like? I don't know if your mum likes sushi. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to get at. Champagne.
I don't think she's ever had sushi, and I've tried getting her to have sushi, and she's not really interested.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe just champagne. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I'm sure she's enjoying her retirement. That's the main thing. At least I hope she is.
Well,
or at least...
Yeah. Well, so far, I think she is.
But
we'll see how time goes on and how longer we're going to be in a state of not being able to go anywhere.
Well, that's it. I think
when you retire, it's kind of like, oh, I can do all this. Oh, wait. No, I can't. Because can't go anywhere, Yeah,
no. The thing is, that's it, isn't it? I think there are a lot of us do sort of look forward to retirement in some ways, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Not that we're ever going to get to retire.
I think we're going to be one of the possibly one of the first generations where the majority of us aren't going to get to retire.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, first generation in recent times, should I say, since we've had a welfare state.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, whatever. I've just noticed it's been really sort of really quite cold and rainy last couple of days, and driving into work's been a bit miserable. I mean, I was actually reading an article, and Stephen was talking about it earlier on, that apparently in Texas they're having a really hard time at the moment.
Yeah, they've got snow.
It's not just snow, though. Apparently it's something like minus 30.
Yeah, in Texas.
Right, so... I think we've got it pretty good here, so I'm not complaining about the weather. But I mean, I don't know if anyone who's listening or watching this is aware of it, but yeah, Texas is having a really hard time at the moment. So basically what's happened is that the severe weather has caused power outages and all sorts of issues.
Pipes freezing up.
Yep, so they don't have water and they don't have electricity. And the previous governor basically just said, you're on your own, y'all.
Who is the governor?
Well, he basically said that in a tweet and then quickly realized that he shouldn't have said that and resigned. So that's good.
I know there was some news about Ted Cruz in Texas, but I don't think Ted Cruz is the governor of Texas, is he?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I literally just watched a muted video on YouTube about it. That's literally my entire... I just thought it was quite... I mean, it's like I would have thought if that would have happened here, they would have opened up sports halls and stuff. I'd imagine. I don't know what they would do because of the COVID business. I mean, what's the higher risk? You get a whole bunch of people in a hole together, huddling together for warmth, or people freeze separately in their houses. What is the answer there?
If you can manage to somehow stay warm in the house, I think that's, especially at
that
the
would
moment,
be preferable.
is probably the best option.
But if they don't have electricity, they can't heat their houses, do they? I mean, how many of these people? I mean, I don't know how many of them have log burners or anything else like that. But imagine not a lot of them do.
Very few, I would imagine. But then you imagine heating a, I don't know, sports hall.
Well, exactly. So the thing is, you can either stick all these people in a sports hall. I mean, let's be honest, it would probably be the more vulnerable people, and then they risk catching coronavirus
and whatever else.
God knows what else.
Going around.
Or they can freeze at home. I mean, I honestly don't know. I don't think there's any simple answer there. I think it's a really
lots of blankets.
Yeah, it's a really, really bad situation. I mean, I would have thought that at the very least the government would have called a state of emergency and would have tried to bring some supplies, at least drinking water to these people and blankets and maybe the emergency heating
the government
things.
Are sending in lots of generators and water and stuff.
Oh, good.
So
but why did it take so long? It's been like 4 days now.
It's not a quick thing to mobilize, bringing aid to somewhere. Because there's any, trucks full of diesel to power all these generators, and it's a mass thing. Texas isn't a small state. No,
it's not. I don't know. I just think they could have been a bit quicker. But that's just my opinion. I'm not aware of the logistics of it, like you say.
Yeah, I imagine it is quite a massive logistical nightmare.
So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that works out. So basically, we can't complain at all about the weather here because we're not freezing with no water or electricity.
Well, most people aren't.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people somewhere in the country that are, but yeah.
Yeah.
For the majority, we're in a pretty good position.
So anyway, yeah, that was a bit bleak, wasn't it?
It was. Didn't know you were going that way. Like, let's find the bleak news.
Let's find the bleak news. Anyway, so 20 minutes into the show, just a reminder, we're going to be talking about our movie of the week towards the end of the show, which this week is Spree, which was pretty depressing, actually, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So let's get on to some of the actual interesting news. I say interesting news. Do you want to start us off?
But probably best to start with the only bit of news that I found, or at least I found interesting, was this Netflix is launching a anime series based on Dota 2.
Okay, so explain to people what Dota 2 is, because I'm sure there's some people listening on Force FM that don't know what a Dota is.
Dota 2 is a what is called a MOBA, which is a massively multiplayer online battle arena. It's a game that's developed by Valve.
It's a multiplayer computer game where people shoot each other.
And it's on PC. So.
Yeah. It's quite big with the kids.
Kids... I don't know about kids. It's probably
no, they like Fortnite, don't they?
Now.
Yeah, the kids like Fortnite, don't they?
The kids kids like Fortnite. People in their 20s like Dota and LOL. People in their 30s like everything else.
Yeah.
And 40s is just whatever. So there's going to be 8 episodes of this anime series called Dota Dragon's Blood. And it's going to be released worldwide on the 25th of March to Netflix.
Yeah, okay. So how are they going to make an anime series about a whole bunch of people shooting each other in the face? And why...
Shooting?
Where do dragons come into it?
Shooting? Dota's more of a fantasy setting. Not guns.
Okay. You can tell I paid attention to this. Okay, so how are you going to make an anime about a bunch of people in... that reminds me of that movie, wasn't it? The... what do they call it? It was really big a few years ago. The whole cities fighting against each other.
Cities fighting against each other.
Yeah, what's it called? What Are
you talking about the
Hunger Wars?
Mortal Instruments?
No, Hunger Wars.
Hunger Wars?
Something Hunger, the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games?
Yeah. Is that it? Am I right?
Well, I mean, that's different districts fighting against...
Basically, yeah, I was on the right track. It's basically that in a computer game form. A whole bunch of people in a place fighting for survival, right? So how are they going to turn that into an anime?
Not really. You kind of had 2 teams that they fight for control of certain areas. That's how MOBAs work. They fight for control.
Okay, so how are they going to turn that into an anime? My point stands, regardless of the technicalities.
There is a story. All MOBAs will have a story. I mean, probably the most popular, which is League of Legends, has a very big lore. Very, very... that a lot of fans of the game are well versed in, and they are actually developing a series themselves.
Okay.
And I think there's a couple of spin-off games being developed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So on similar veins, this will also have a backstory. Dota's a game that I've never really been able to get into, but I'm sure the lore is also...
There's obviously enough there for them to think, well, we can make something out of this.
Yeah.
We'll tell the story... Here we go. We'll tell the story of Dragon Knight. Durable melee strength heroes equipped with swords and shields. Named Davion, who's devoted to wiping the scourge from the face of the earth. In his travels, Davion crosses path with ancient Eldworm, race of dragons, and noble Princess Mirana. As with epic tales like this, Davion becomes involved in events far larger than he expected. So it basically tells the story of the characters themselves, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about Dota, whether any of these characters are actually new characters or whether they're based on characters that are already in the game.
Blah blah blah. Dragon's Blood was developed under leadership of Shadowrunner Ashley. Blah blah blah. Blah, blah screenwriter. Blah blah. The Sarah Connor Chronicles. It was drawn and animated by Studio Mir, known for Legend of Korra,
which is also on Netflix.
Features 80s style artwork similar to the original Voltron. Well, at least they're still making anime, and because I mean I'm still reeling after that Studio Ghibli thing last week.
I mean, we've spoken about that in the past. But yeah, that Studio Ghibli, what was it? I can't even remember what it's called. It just looks.
It was just Mushroom Toe or something like that. I don't know, whatever it was. Yeah. Tale of the Mushroom Toe. I don't know what it was. I can't even. As soon as I saw the animation style, I went off it and I lost interest completely.
Yeah. What's it called?
It doesn't matter. Let's just move on. So that's cool.
Something
so at least
in the
there's still,
I think it is.
Yeah. Well, at least there's still studios that are around doing this stuff. I mean, I wonder how much of it is actually traditional hand-drawn stuff.
It won't be. No, I doubt
computer
any
generated.
Well, it might. It'll be hand-drawn on a tablet, I would imagine.
Yeah, but still, I mean, frame by frame. Like, we tried to make a 30-second cartoon, and we got 15 seconds into it, and we realized it was complete rubbish, and we scrapped the whole idea.
Well, you've got to remember this is obviously professionals that have been doing it for a long time.
So, I mean, because we've had a taste of how much work's involved, and I'm not saying it was animated to anywhere near the level of detail that this is, but still, I mean, you're basically looking at 14 frames a second. So that's 14 separate at the absolute minimum. So that's, you can imagine how many, the amount of work that goes into this stuff. You'd really, really appreciate it. And I think having had a little bit of an experience trying to animate cartoon, I appreciate it all the more. And I actually look at these things now and I'm actually just in awe of the amount of work that went into making them.
I guess when you get to a certain level, there's certain techniques that you can use that make it a lot easier.
And there's probably lots of people involved to help you.
Yeah.
You know, whereas it's just me sort of drawing maybe 3 or 4 frames a second. You know, you got whole teams of people animating and colorists and, you know, and all the rest of it. So, it makes you...
Because this is something that, the animation style is something that is key to something like South Park. The creators did say once that they deliberately designed it so that it could be animated very quickly. They usually can turn around an episode in about a week.
Yeah.
And it's purely because of the way that they've done their animation style.
Yeah. And it still looks alright. I mean, they've upped the detail now.
Yeah, I mean that was
I have noticed that. Yeah, this is back in 1998.
15 years ago, maybe even 20 odd years ago. That it was.
Yeah, that's right. Because we were just leaving school when South Park came out.
Yeah. So. Whether
we
it's
are
still
old.
a week.
We are old, Mark.
To turn around an episode, that is really impressive. I mean, The Simpsons probably takes months to do one episode.
Yeah, I mean, which really I find amazing because I can't. The Simpsons is boring. So all the writers and animators, they must be falling asleep at their desk. Oh, here we go again. It's another boring episode of The Simpsons. I didn't even laugh once. There was like an episode that I saw a couple, I think earlier on today, actually. It was one of the newer Simpsons, and it was just, I mean, for some reason, they all started singing and dancing now just to try and, I don't know, do something with it, and I'm just like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah, I did find that episode a little bit. What?
Yeah, it was just.
What are they doing?
It's not even fun. I didn't laugh once. It's not funny anymore. It hasn't been funny for a long time.
I don't know. I find some of the episodes do have some good laughs, but yeah, the quality isn't there.
No.
I mean, when it's been going for
30 years.
30, getting on for 32 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, you think they'd have some new people come in that would spur some life into it, breathe some life into it, you know? Because it's not going to be the same people working on it for 30 years. There's going to be people coming and going, and new writers and new all this and
well,
the
yeah,
other.
they've had quite a lot of people die. That were, you know, people like the actress that played Edna Krabappel. She died a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Which is why I was impressed in one of the latest episodes that she was in it.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on.
Yeah, that's it.
She died a few years ago. How did they do that?
But still, you know, it's you'd think they'd basically try and breathe some life into it. It's just kind of.
I think they have tried to do different things with some episodes, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's much like Family Guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things. And like everyone's, I don't know. It's just I don't want to have a wider conversation on the culture change. But yeah, I suspect that probably plays into it a bit as well. Yeah. It's like so many people are just looking to be offended by anything these days.
Yeah, because I watched an episode, a really old episode, and it centered around a poo, and I was like, a poo!
Yeah.
Because of course he's not in The Simpsons anymore.
No, because he's offensive now.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think we should, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, there we go. Completely lost where we're going with that. So basically, there's a new anime coming about Dota 2.
Yeah, which may be
interesting to some people.
Even if you're not a fan of Dota, if you like anime, I would watch it anyway. I'm going to watch it. So. Yeah,
I mean, I'm probably going to check it out.
Yeah.
Because I like animation. I'm just watching. I can't get enough of it these days. It's like whatever it is on YouTube or whatever. I'm constantly looking at animation, just regardless of what it is, even if it's awful. I'm looking at it, and there's always something. There's always some interesting. There's always something interesting I'm finding picking these things apart. Like there was this really basic sort of animation that I've just watched about 4 or 5 different times now today. And the actual animation isn't anything special, but what I found fascinating about it was all the facial expressions and stuff, and the way that the character turned its head and everything else, and there was a lot of flair there. It wasn't very detailed, but you can tell that they had an understanding of posture and positioning and expression. And I like that. That was, there's always something to be. And that's why I'm really into my animation these days. Because I'm more aware of it. Yeah. If that makes sense. Than I was before. Whereas before it was just like, meh. Now I'm just, okay, I like the way that character sort of, Yeah. Anyway, what else is going on? Right, so study says Android users make better relationship partners than iPhone users. Who found this?
Explain.
How's your phone got anything?
What do they mean by relationship partners?
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. So relationship study of over 2,000 people suggests
personal relationships, or is this from a technological standpoint?
I think. Well, let's just read the article. A relationship study of over 2,000 people suggests that Android users might be better partners than iPhone users. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Well, how's a phone got anything to do with... The study shows how Android users are less prone to having annoying phone habits that could irritate their partners.
What's an annoying phone habit? Bad habits. Using handset whilst watching TV or movie.
Don't really tend to do that.
And
why is that annoying? If you're not interested in the movie, you just switch off and you start, doing whatever else. And he's saying that so iPhone people are more likely to pull out their phone during a movie than Android people?
I mean, I agree with this one. Using their phone while having a conversation.
But that's got nothing... I mean...
That is annoying, but yeah. So, in their study, 67% of people on iPhones do that, compared with 51%
There's not much
Android.
in it.
So, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, there's most of these are fairly close.
Yeah.
For the bad habits. So you've got using phone while eating at the table, 64% on iPhone, 42% on Android.
Mm-hmm. So it's 22% more people on the iPhone side tend to use their phone while eating at the table.
Yeah. Using handset during quality time, and
what's
that's
quality time? I mean, if it was like quality time, you're what?
Yeah. That's why.
If it was adult quality time, are we talking about adult quality time? Or are we just talking about family sitting down, talking to each other quality time? What kind of quality time are we talking about here?
Well, because it's in quotes, I would have said it's adult quality time.
In which case, you really shouldn't be focusing on your phone.
Exactly. Although it's a lot closer there. It's 58 to 50%.
Or you're just really bad at adult quality time.
Yeah. Sending multiple one-line messages instead of one text.
You see, I do that sometimes, but that's only because I just have a thought. Bleh.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, bleh.
Yeah.
I do that occasionally.
Taking multiple photos of the same thing. That's not a bad habit. That's good photography habit.
Yeah, because lighting, and maybe there might be a problem with
exactly
one of the pictures.
If you're a decent photographer, you do take multiple pictures of things.
Yeah. That's not necessarily
not a bad habit.
Yeah, you're right. Not replying to messages apparently is a bad habit. But that's just nothing down to your phone use. That's just down to you being
I'm taking photos of food before eating. If you happen to be going to a swanky restaurant, I suppose, and you've never had this thing, you want to send
look
it
at the
to
caviar.
somebody, maybe.
Look at the caviar. Excuse me while I take up my iPhone to take a picture of it.
Look at my lobster thermidor.
Yeah, okay.
Which is very nice, but still.
Yeah. Talking loudly on calls at home.
In the home.
I don't know. It sounds like this is stuff that a lot of people...
Yeah.
I don't think this got... I think it's interesting how those traits... I don't know. I mean, is that sample size they're using big enough? I mean, I don't know if... I mean, that's just...
Excessively talking loud on calls in the home. It's not just in the home, that's anywhere.
Yeah.
You go out and you hear people talking on a phone and they're always loud.
Using filters on every photo.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend that does that.
We have a friend that does that. Every single picture is like some dog ears or something on sparkles, and I'm just like, oh, come on.
Excessively posting on social media. Well, I mean, that's not just a phone thing. That's a PC... laptop,
you see, I think
tablet.
a lot of these traits, let's call them traits rather than bad habits. A lot of these traits are relatively common.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wouldn't have said they were, I mean, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. They break it down by so the traits most likely to commit. So using your phone while watching TV, apparently women are most likely to commit that. Whereas using your phone while having a conversation with your partner, apparently men are most likely to do that.
Which is amazing because we can't multitask.
Yeah. Not replying to text, men. Using your phone while eating, men. Liking others' raunchy social media posts. Men.
Raunchy?
Hey?
What does that have to do with the above survey? That's something else they've just thrown in there.
This is
okay.
Relationship study chart.
Texting and using social media while driving. Well, men.
Well, that's illegal anyway.
Yeah, I know. Using your phone during quality time together, 40%. Who?
Men. What?
All right. Cool.
Taking photos of your food tends to be women, apparently.
Excessively posting on social media is women, apparently, predominantly.
Yeah,
well, there we go. That's I don't know if that's particularly interesting. I don't know what I think about that.
I mean, I try to avoid posting on social media. But
yeah, whenever possible. That's I mean, the only reason I use Facebook at all is just as a thing for my art. Even though it's awful because it compresses the picture and it makes it look terrible. It does horrible things.
Yeah, but when you consider most people are looking at them on said mobile device, that's.
But still, I notice it because I drew the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm picking up on a lot of this quality loss when you stick things on Facebook, and I'm just like, there's got to be something better. Like, I'm thinking about maybe Pinterest or something. There's got to be something better out there.
I don't know what the compression is on Pinterest.
Anyway, let's move on. We've only got 20 minutes after the show. We've still got a couple news articles to go through, as well as our movie of the week. All right, why don't you start us off with the next one then?
What's the next one?
The Apple M1 malware. Yeah.
Apple.
So
I mean.
Yeah, I mean that's not surprising though.
I don't really find this one overly. I mean, it is slightly interesting. So Apple it's probably well known that Apple have got their new processor, SoC, whatever you want to call it, for their MacBooks. The Apple M1 chip is what it's called. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of new malware being released for native M1 MacBooks.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising, is it?
Yeah, this is a market that Apple has in the past been quite proud of the fact that they don't really have much in the way of malware or viruses. And this was mostly down to the fact that the market share was very low.
Yeah.
Obviously, the market share has grown quite a lot. It says in the article, it says that 10 years ago the market share was only 6.5%, and now it's approaching 20%.
So they're gonna start. A lot of these people are gonna start really ramping up their game, aren't they now? So it's gonna be more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
And Apple are gonna have to be more aware of it now, and they're gonna have to spend a lot more time and money dealing with this stuff.
I mean, not that malware couldn't have been run on
their
the old
architecture,
Intel chips,
yeah,
because it could, but it was just because the user base wasn't so big. People weren't.
So it's not really so much down to the it's not really so much down to the processor or the architecture. It's just down to the fact that there's more of a percentage of people using Apple products now than there were previously. Therefore, it's more of a target for people.
Yes, yeah, it's purely the user base. However, I think Macs are generally more difficult to target than Windows anyway, because of the inner work. The code beneath the surface is more difficult to get to than it is with Windows.
Yeah, I mean, the article does go on to talk about the architecture and stuff like this, and the different types of malware and stuff that's existed in the past, and yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was somewhat inevitable, I think.
Yeah, you increase the user base,
yeah,
then people are going to
target it more.
Target it, yeah.
Oh well, I only use an iPhone. The thing is, I would like to start using Linux more on my devices as well. Just
well,
as
this
an aside,
I mean, underneath
yeah, I know. Unix.
OS OS X is built on some derivative of Linux or Unix, so it's got some of that platform already there, which does actually make it slightly more secure than Windows anyway.
Yep.
But obviously, people are going to find ways around it the more people start using it.
Yeah, of course they will. Oh well, there we go.
Yeah.
It's not much of a story, is it really?
It's not. I mean, if you're into your Mac products, which we're not really. I mean, you only use an iPhone because it was small.
Yeah.
Really.
That was it. That was my criteria.
You just wanted a smaller phone than most of the Android phones, so you didn't have much choice but to go with an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because
smaller.
There aren't many small Android phones, so.
That was it. That was my entire criteria right there.
Yeah.
It's small. Than the others. Not as small as I'd like, but as small as I'm going to get. So,
exactly.
Sold.
I mean, given the choice, you probably would be using Android.
Mm-hmm. They do have some really small Android phones, but they're awful.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the big manufacturers don't produce
none of the good Android manufacturers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
next.
Farting sock robot.
This.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny.
It is, yeah. Basically, I saw this and I really wanted one. So imagine like this little round, grey sock.
Kind of. When I first saw it, I thought, "Is that the new Amazon Echo device?" Because you know how they've got their new sort of round, sphere-like Echoes.
Not really. I don't really pay attention to it.
It kind of looks a bit like that.
I had to really stop myself from throwing out my my Amazon device out the window the other day.
Was it saying things to you that you didn't like?
Yeah, I did. And I actually threw the one we had downstairs across the room once.
Why?
Because it annoyed me.
Okay.
For reasons I'm not going to go into.
Right.
It just asked for more and more biometric data and information on me. And I'm just like, stop it, Amazon.
Eh.
And my stop it, Amazon was ripping it out of the thing and throwing it across the room. Yeah, it's just big data, isn't it? I don't like it.
Worthless data, mostly.
Yeah, I know, but still. Anyway, so that being said, I'm surprised I'm a bigger fan of this as I thought I would be, but at least it's not run by Amazon or anyone else.
No, it's run by Panasonic.
Yeah.
It's made by Panasonic.
So I don't know if they're trying to get into the game as well, of collecting biometric data and listening habits for keywords for marketing.
Wouldn't surprise me, but then they'll probably piggyback off of Google
Something.
or Amazon or...
Yeah. But basically the reason why I liked it...
Google or Amazon.
Yeah, the reason why I liked it was because it's very cute. It's this little grey sock with a tail and two eyes and a nose. And basically the eyes are little screens and they just they're animated and stuff, and the little sock robot.
And it's got a camera. I think the nose is the camera.
Yeah, it kind of looks at you and it can kind of move itself around. And it's really quite cute and very, very Japanese.
Yeah, it's called Nikobo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. I mean, we were watching the video on it earlier on. It's super cute.
I just look at it and
its winning feature is that it'll turn around and fart at you. Literally, the thing will just turn around and go.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Imagine that if you just sat there and you just said, "Turn on the TV." I don't
understand why though.
And it just turned on the TV.
I mean, the article doesn't say anything about it having any smart capabilities either.
It does. It does.
I couldn't see anything
it says
there
towards the end where they're adding smart features to it.
It said about limited vocabulary.
After 6 months... What?
The company is selling the code for approximately $360.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
After the first 6 months, those who were fortunate enough to lock in a pre-order will need to pay around $10 a month for features like smartphone pairing and updates. What?
Mm-hmm. I don't
So
like that.
it's going to be a farting robot as a service.
Yeah, farting robots. We have to coin a new term.
It's called Fraz.
Fraz. Fraz. Panasonic are trying to market the Fraz.
Why? I don't understand why you would want one of these.
Because they're silly. I like it. Although I probably wouldn't spend $390 on it, nor would I spend £10 a month.
Silly as well, but you don't pay $360 for a whoopee cushion.
Yeah. I'm sure it's got its uses, and it is pretty cute.
Yeah, I agree. It is pretty cute, but I think that cuteness will wear off within about 5 minutes.
And then you realise you spend £390 on a farting robot you have to pay £10 a month for.
I mean, that's more than the BB-8 Sphero when it came out.
Yeah.
And that thing was
awful as well.
It was a novelty, yes, but it's just rubbish. Really
I'm looking forward to the day that, you know, these little robots are actually useful. I'm sure they will be at some point, but we're not quite there yet. But
no.
Slowly catch you monkey, I think.
Yeah.
So apparently it just turns around and farts in your general direction once in a while.
For $360.
But it does do things. You can talk to it and you can pat it and it.
And?
Anyway, you gotta love Japan, right?
Hell, you could get a hamster for a lot less than that. And it'd do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Except you don't, well, I don't know. How much food do you need to spend on a hamster? In terms of cost of ownership of a hamster as opposed to the farting robot. I wonder if that's quite interesting.
Yeah. When you consider the $360 you have to pay up front and then $10 a month.
Yeah. It's probably more expensive than a hamster as well.
Yeah. In the long run, yeah.
Anyway.
And a hamster does more stuff.
It just runs around in a ball and then, that reminds me of the hamster I had when I was a kid. We had this little ball that the hamster used to run around in. It was a little transparent sphere ball. And my mum used to let it just sort of run around the house in this hamster ball. And the hamster ball came open.
That happens.
And the hamster got under the bathtub and he went down the drain or in between the floorboards or something. We never saw it again.
Oh dear. My sister's hamster, one of the hamsters, actually got into the wall cavity.
I was never seen again?
No, my mum managed to get it out the wall.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She smashed a hole in the wall and got it out.
You're joking. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was devastated. 8-year-old Daniel was devastated.
My niece has just got a hamster this week. She wanted a boy, but the pet place didn't have any boys' time. They went there, so she's got a girl.
Yeah, not that it matters. Is a hamster. Is there any kind of behavioral trait differences between a male and a female hamster? Or are they just all just?
I don't think so. Really.
Exactly. So what's the point? It's like there are behavioral differences between male and female dogs.
I mean, obviously, there's the obvious difference.
Yeah, but I mean that plays no part in it.
I don't think there's really much of a behavioural difference from what I remember.
If you're gonna get a hamster, it doesn't matter what sex it is. Really, it's a hamster.
Well,
they're all pretty dumb, silly little things. They just sit in cardboard tubes and eat. I don't know. Cardboard, yeah.
They do.
So anyway, we're almost at the end of the show, but we have a few minutes to talk about our movie of the week, and I did leave it for this until this point because I don't have an awful lot to say about it. So it's basically our movie of the week, which was picked by you. It's called Creed. No,
Spree.
Spree. Thank you.
Why did you say Creed?
I have no idea. No idea.
We watched that a long time ago.
Yeah. Anyway, so Spree, it basically follows the story of this kid who's desperate to become. I hate using this term. I hate it.
A influencer.
Social media influencer. That's what these people on YouTube call themselves now. They're influencer. They don't influence anyone.
Well, they do, but it's minimal.
Yeah, exactly. They're YouTubers. They're people on YouTube and Twitch. They don't influence anyone really. So I don't know why they call themselves influencers, but they do anyway. So the guy is a self-styled social media influencer, and he's struggling to really get his channel noticed.
He's so desperate. This is the thing. The whole film is basically showing how stupid the world is with all this YouTube influencer
stuff. Yeah,
crap.
It is ridiculous, and that's what I got from it as well. Because you could actually see something like this, as disturbing as it is, actually happening.
Yeah.
People being that desperate to try and become famous on these social media platforms for whatever reason, because that gives them validation or I don't know what. I mean, we do this because we're idiots and we got nothing better to do with our time, but we don't do it because we want to be famous. But there are people that absolutely crave it.
Yeah, they're absolutely desperate to do it. I mean, this movie.
I mean, honestly, I could take it or leave it. I'm not
extreme end of that, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is with so basically the guy just goes off the rails. He decides that I want to become famous. I'm awkward and whatever else, so I'm just gonna do something really crazy just to kind of get myself noticed. And he is a sort of an Uber driver, I suppose you could say, but not Uber.
Yeah, I think the company is actually called Spree, which is why the movie is called Spree. So he works for essentially
this company as a taxi driver,
Uber or Lyft or whatever.
Yeah, he's a taxi driver basically. Yeah. And he is absolutely so desperate to become famous, he decides that the best way of doing that is to murder people in the back of his taxi by poisoning them or whatever.
Injects bottles of water with something. I can't remember whether it actually says what he injects it with.
It doesn't matter, whatever it was. So basically he just kills people, and he was hoping that would get him noticed, and it did. I mean, of course it did, but it didn't give him any kind of attention that he wanted. But I guess any attention is better than none for somebody in that mindset.
I mean,
so
he was the thing is he was mostly targeting other so-called influencers,
right?
But more well known.
Let's not call them that. Let's call them YouTubers.
Well, they may not have all been on YouTube
or whatever.
Social media
people. They're not even personalities. Half of these people don't have a personality. Some do, genuinely, but most don't. Have you seen half the rubbish on Twitch? Is just women just sat there going, I had beans for dinner again.
On Twitch is just,
thank you for the $100.
Yeah. I have actually tried watching some of those, trying to figure out exactly
what the appeal is.
What people are paying for, and
it's literally just some girl there sat there, just talking about absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds a bit like this show, except we're not good-looking women. We're middle-aged, angry men.
Middling age.
Middle-aged, angry men. Anyway, so that's the movie in a nutshell, and obviously it comes to a very gruesome end, and that's it. The person that kills him eventually ends up becoming super famous.
She was quite famous before, but
this really
I didn't
catapulted her
expect
career.
It to end quite like that.
Yeah, no, she became super, super famous for killing the murdering taxi driver man.
Yeah.
And yes.
I expected him to survive and end up in prison.
Yeah, I don't know. I think somebody like that, I think he was so unhinged. It was only going to end one way.
Or a psych ward.
Yeah, basically. Then yeah. So, yeah, I mean, basically that's it. It's I think it's more of a commentary on the psychological profile of some of these. I know, because I'm not saying there are people like that. Okay.
It's a commentary on what
where it could be headed.
What can happen to
when people crave,
when they're seeking fame through social media.
Yeah.
Or any.
I've yet to actually hear of anything like this actually happening in reality, though. I mean, sure, you hear fights between these idiots all the time. You know, the people that go, I don't like you, we're going to go in a boxing arena, and they have a fight or whatever, and then they, you know. So you do get all that between these people. But that's, I mean, they haven't actually gone to murdering each other yet, so that's good.
No. But I think those fights are only popular because they're hoping that they will murder each other.
No. Yeah. Anyway, so that was it. That was Spree. It's on Netflix. It's pretty depressing, in all honesty. And, I mean, I personally didn't really enjoy it that much. I just thought it was, I could see that happening, which is really quite disturbing.
That's the whole point
of it, yeah. But I mean, I didn't find it enjoyable to watch. Obviously, I didn't like anything about it, really. It was just some unhinged lunatic killing people in the back of his taxi for fame and fortune.
Yeah, I think it is designed to make you uneasy.
So there we go.
I think it does it.
Yeah, so I can't recommend it for obvious reasons, but if you are curious, then check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called Spree.
Yep.
So that's it from us. Thank you very much indeed for watching / listening. If you were watching on YouTube or Twitch, sorry about all the technical sound issues we had at the start of the show. No idea what was going on there, but I mentioned I hated computers, right? I just wanted to throw that out there again. So don't forget, you can head over to our website, flyinglamastudios.net, if you'd like to have a look at some of my drawings. Otherwise, you can probably follow me on Facebook, Daniel Roth, if you really want to. Flying Llama Studios is on Facebook, probably a better bet, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We don't bother with Twitch.
No,
Twitter.
Not really, no.
We do with Twitch, but not Twitter.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's it. Take care of yourselves, stay sane, stay warm, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Just waiting for this thing to break again now.
This was a
Yep.